happening, people? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you're all doing well. Big up to Nuruddin with the raid. Big up to everyone coming through from his channel. Make sure you lot hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe because we got a lot to talk about. We always seem to have the world of Manchester United, it's never a quiet day in the office. There's never, an opportunity for us to come here and just play noughts and crosses on stream, because Manchester United always give us something to talk about. Not one thing, not two things, multiple things. So we're going to talk about that. Chelsea expected to make a bid for Alejandro Garnacho in the region of £60 million. Alejandro Garnacho is keen on the move. Manchester United looking to sell him to make some profit. So we're going to talk about that. Manchester United also interested in bringing in Tyler Dibling as a replacement. However, Southampton have put a £55 million price tag on him. So we're going to talk about that because I want to know if you guys think that is a shout or it's not a shout. Manchester United have also made a second bid for Dorgu. £25 million, 30 million euros. If you lot know, the club want 40 million euros for him, which is around 32, 33 million. So Manchester United is still off that valuation, but I like it because I think 40 million euros is a lot. So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about Antony officially departing on loan to go and join Real Betis on loan, like I said. But Betis are covering a hefty chunk of his salary. Manchester United reportedly interested in the future of Christopher Nkunku. So we're going to talk about that because why are we just taking other people's dead weight? So yeah, man, big up to everyone locked in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well as we grow the community. Where do you stand on the Garnacho sell Minard Chiku? I will tell you where I stand when we get to it. But I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. Just for the purpose of what it kind of entails in terms of giving Man United the opportunity of buying more players. Now, my biggest worry is that Manchester United actually sell Garnacho and don't bring anyone in. Then Man United have a very thin attacking front line, and that is a big problem. Another one of my worries is that Manchester United go after a lot of young players, products, prodigies, whatever you want to call it, high ceiling profile players. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I'm worried about that. Man United need to find, in terms of their recruitment, a balance of experienced, seasoned professionals and obviously potential. So we're going to talk about that. Big up, just subbed. Big up. Welcome to the community, man. Big up, big up. Big up to MLD as well. Says big up, Minna. Big up to everyone as well. All the mods in the chat. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking because we got so much to talk about. Like I said, it's never a dull day in the world of Manchester United. They're always giving us a lot to talk about. Before we actually get to the Garnacho stuff, let's start with this, which is the most recent news, literally less than an hour ago. Rob Dawson from ESPN reporting that Manchester United have asked to be kept informed on the developments regarding Christopher Nkunku's future as Chelsea continue to weigh up their formal bid for Alejandro Garnacho. Now, I don't think it's directly linked, but I do think that Manchester United could look to maybe nick an attacking player from Chelsea. Now, there's so many question marks over this, guys. So many question marks. Because if you guys remember in the summer, when Chelsea were trying to offload Conor Gallagher to Atletico Madrid, what happened there? They had to take another player off Atletico's hands. They had to take another player off Atletico's hands just to get him out of the door. And it would have, obviously, Conor Gallagher was 100% profit for them in terms of being an academy player. And they were able to reinvest that. Now, I do not want Man United. Let me just be clear. I do not want to see Manchester United doing this whole, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You take a player off my hands, I take a player off your hands. Absolutely not. Christopher Nkunku, I really liked him at RB Leipzig before he joined Chelsea. At the time, I always used to speak about the prospect of maybe United getting him. But at the time also, I didn't really see... I didn't see him fitting into the team because we were playing with a 4-2-3-1. Now, of course, now he flourishes in that second striker role. He doesn't really get many opportunities at Chelsea. I've seen him play on the left wing, which is a stinker from Enzo Maresca. But equally so, Enzo Maresca, I don't think is fond of him. But Man United should not be signing Christopher Nkunku, guys. Whether he fits the Amorim system, quotation marks, we should not be signing. I don't want to say he's fell off, but Christopher Nkunku, what he used to be and what he is now, is not remotely the same, in my opinion. I think that there are better profiles, better players that have been performing a lot better over the last couple seasons than Christopher Nkunku. And like I said, they shouldn't be signing a player from Chelsea just for the sake of it, just because they are desperate to get Garnacho off their books. Now, I think with the Garnacho deal, it has to be a cash deal. It has to be like money. It can't be including a player. and Man United shouldn't be looking to reinvest that money back into the squad by signing someone from Chelsea. There's other markets you can go to. There's other players. There's other, in my opinion, there's better players out there than Christopher Nkunku. I've seen people entertaining the idea of João Felix. I like João Felix. But I think people like the idea of João Felix in the same manner that they like the idea of Christopher Nkunku, rather than what is the reality in front of you, what they've been over the last couple of seasons. And maybe I'm being harsh in terms of judging them off the last couple of seasons, but what I don't like to do is hold on to the idea of what they used to be with the hopes and the admiration that they will become that player. Mason Mount is a perfect example, because I felt guilty to this. When Man United signed Mason Mount, I was against it, but I said I was going to give him a chance because he used to be a good player prior to, his injury-ridden season. I should have just taken what he was at face value, what he's showed us for the last 12 months, rather than the idea of what he used to be and him maybe, getting back to that potential. And that's how I feel about Christopher Nkunku. I like Christopher Nkunku before he joined Chelsea. When he joined Chelsea, I think he stayed at Leipzig 6 months? I think they agreed to sign him in January, and then he joined a season later or something. I never understood why he joined Chelsea. Genuinely speaking, I never understood why he joined Chelsea. They don't even play in a manner that can, utilize Nkunku in a lineup. And he's behind how many strikers or how many attacking players? There's João Felix, who barely plays himself. Then you've got the wide players. Then you've got Nicholas Jackson, who starts up top. And yes, I get it. He's played, I think, in the Conference League for them, and I think he played against Barrow in the Carabao or FA Cup, whatever it was. But this idea that Man United should monitor Christopher Nkunku is unrealistic. Check his injury history the last 2 years. Would you risk that? Go on. Let's have a look at his history, injury history, because I know he had injury problems when he was at Leipzig. I remember him having injury problems. So his whoa. In 23-24 season at Chelsea and for the international team, he missed 48 games last season, guys. 48 games. By the way, we criticize Man United players that spend a lot of time in the injury room, with the medics. And this is the same guy that people are suggesting United should go after. The season before that, 22-23 season, he missed 22 games across 4 injuries. And last season, he missed 48 games across 4 injuries. Some of those injuries, they're no joke, guys. He had a knee injury last season, and he had a hamstring injury. That was the 2 injuries that made him miss the most number of games. With the knee injury, he missed 20 games. Hamstring injury, he missed 14. That is not something Man United should risk. Fans doing better scouting than Manchester United's actual scouts. They should hire people from Twitter, clearly. We don't need to take on reclamation projects. We don't need to do... I don't think United need to sign players just for the sake of signing it. Now, before we actually get to transfer news, just some information or some news from Samuel Luckhurst on Ruben Amorim. Reportedly, sources have suggested that Ruben Amorim was not fully aware of Man United's financial issues when he agreed to take over as the head coach in November. United sources, however, have denied this and insist that Amorim was given a full brief and transparent breakdown of the club's financial realities when it was outlined that the days of spending 200 million plus every window was over. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but The Athletic did a really great in-depth piece. If you are not familiar with how finances work in football, I'd really recommend you to go and check it out. But they did a really good in-depth piece about Manchester United's financial situation and why Man United have essentially a cash problem. Now, I tweeted about it yesterday, but essentially, Manchester United's biggest problems when it comes to finances is because of the Glazers. And you lot are probably thinking, you're blaming it on the Glazers again. But Manchester United's biggest issues, let's put it like this. In their most recent full year financial accounts, they paid over 140 million of interest, which is the loan. This interest comes from the loan that was taken when the Glazers took over Manchester United, the 600 million or so loan that they took over. And they've been paying 100 plus in interest every year. Now, if you guys are not familiar, when you have a big credit and you have a high interest kind of valuation on it, it's impossible to pay it off unless you pay off a good chunk of it. The Glazers have never done that. Manchester United as a football club has been responsible for covering those loans, i.e. the interest and the payments, etc. Manchester United have been doing that. Now, on top of all of that, Manchester United still have a net figure in transfer fee installments of 319 million, which about 150 of that is due in the next 12 months. So when Man United are saying they ain't got money, they really mean it. And I actually said, why they do not like Chelsea and Barcelona escape PSR. But Barcelona's a different thing because they don't have PSR rules. PSR is a Premier League regulation, but they do have FFP. And what have Barcelona been doing? They've been selling parts of their there's not a part of their stadium that they have not sold, because financially Barcelona are F. Man United are in a much better financial situation. Chelsea, on the other hand, is in a different situation because they had a full takeover, which means the Clear Lake came in, bought the entire 100% of Chelsea, or as a I don't know how many people have an investment in it, but they brought the entirety of Chelsea, and essentially they got the opportunity to start from zero financially because it was a clean slate. That's what happens when it's a full takeover. When the owner at the time, Abramovich, he sold the entire club. If the Glazers had sold the entire club, Jim Ratcliffe would have been responsible now for this, and people would have looked at him and been like, you need to pay off the debt. When the Qataris were offering to buy Manchester United, the reason why I think the Glazers didn't accept was because part of the valuation of Manchester United that they were willing to pay included what they wanted to pay off with the debt. And I don't think the Glazers wanted that. I think the Glazers wanted them to pay off the debt out of their own pocket, but not part of what they're willing to pay for Manchester United, if that makes sense. And I hope that makes sense. But Manchester United's financial situation is dire. And I've said this time and again, I wouldn't be surprised if Ruben Amorim walks. I would not be. And I don't want to put it out into the world, and I don't want you lot to think I'm being negative, but I think hold on. Let me see if I can. Is this meme? There's a meme, guys, yeah? I don't know what TV show it's from, yeah? Let me know if you guys know. But it's a black guy. He walks into a room with a pizza box smiling, and then the whole room is on fire. Let me know what TV show that is. But that is Ruben Amorim in a nutshell with Manchester United. He came to Manchester United first day at Carrington, guys. You don't remember the pictures. He was so happy. He was smiling. It's essentially his dream job. You know, one of the biggest clubs in the world. He walks in, and now he's realizing the whole place is on fire, and I probably can't leave. I can't leave. That is the situation. Community. There you go. That's the show's name. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's how I feel when I look at Ruben Amorim's situation at Manchester United right now. The fact that they can't even offload players. Forget about the financial situation. The fact that United potentially Marcus Rashford might stay. That's another shortcoming for the recruitment people. The fact that Casemiro is still here. Another shortcoming. There's so much shortcomings that Ruben Amorim is going to have to be on the receiving end of, in terms of the fact that if they don't action as A, B can't be done, i.e. bringing in players. And if Ruben Amorim genuinely believes that, you know, he wasn't fully aware of what United's situation is right now, then it's very unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. And it makes me kind of question where we see the next kind of couple of months going. Big up to James, the newest member in the community. Big up, James. Welcome to the Minions gang. Just like James, guys, you guys can join the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. Of course, you get to support the growth of the channel as well. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love to the channel. And you can help me reach the super chat goal for the stream today. Big up to James, newest member. I need to add some new emojis as well, because I need to get rid of I might have to get rid of Marcus Rashford soon, unfortunately. But we got over 100 people in here, so let's try and get at least 100 likes at the minimum, because it really helps with the channel. Antony, my favorite fidget spinner is on the way out. He's traveled today to Sevilla to join Real Betis on loan, 6 months. And listen to this, guys. Real Betis, or Betis, I don't know how you say it, Betis. I've always thought it was Betis. Real Betis are covering 84% of his salary. 84%. That is damn a lot. For a team that actually don't pay much. I think Isco is their highest paid player. They don't pay extortionate wages. Manchester United being able to get that, I don't know. I might have to respect it a little bit. Now, Antony's loan is an interesting one because I never saw him fit into the Amorim system. I never believed that this idea of Antony as a wing back would work. I was never under that impression. But as well as that, I'm happy to see him go out on loan because it really feels like players that stay at Manchester United, their value just depreciates. Like, generally speaking, Marcus Rashford, I think his value is going to continue to depreciate if he doesn't leave. Casemiro, I think his value will depreciate. Christian Eriksen will leave on a free. Victor Lindelof will leave on a free. In terms of sellable assets that Man United have, I feel like the longer they stay at United, especially if they're not playing, the more that their price depreciates. And Antony, for me, I think he was only playing over the last couple of games coming off of the bench because really and truly, Ruben Amorim had no one else. He had no one else. He brought him off the bench a couple of games ago, I remember, and he put him in the 10. And I was kind of shocked. But he has no one else. He has no one else. I hope he has a good loan spell, personally, number one, because that just means that Manchester United will be able to sell him for a bigger price tag. That's it. That is really it. I don't see a future for Antony in the team, whether it's Ruben Amorim as a head coach, whether it's someone else as a head coach. I just don't see him having a future at Manchester United. And this is another example of just poor management from Manchester United over the last 10 or so years in the transfer window, because they signed a player who, before Man United actually signed Antony, guys, in Erik ten Hag's first summer transfer window, Man United had actually been tracking him for 6 months prior to that because they were looking at a right winger. And he was on the list of right wingers that they identified. And they valued him at the time £25 million. So the fact that they went and not only paid nearly triple that or more than triple that, they even gave him 10 times of his salary. He went from earning 20k to earning 200k a week. So of course you'd want to stay at Manchester United. They changed his life financially. His family's going to have generational wealth. But that just shows you again, like I said, the shortcomings of the previous. I can't even say the previous management because right now I don't know if it's going to be any different under Ineos. We just got to wait and see. But to track a player and value him at 25 million and then go on and pay 100 million for him less than 6 months later. I don't care how desperate people say Erik ten Hag was to sign him. He did have a part of it in terms of pushing to sign him, but they should have known better. They should have known better. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I think Amorim got humbled by the severity of certain situations at United, i.e., one, how United is generally hated in media, the opposite of Sporting. I think he believed everyone wants United to succeed, and number two, how incompetent United staff would be at sorting out their problems. This is my first time on this. Big up, welcome. I think Amorim knew. I just think both Amorim and Ineos underestimated how diabolical the situation actually is, especially the players' side of things. They didn't think the players would be this bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys, let's be honest, yeah. Did we actually think that the team would look like this by January under Ruben Amorim? I'm not gonna lie, when Ruben Amorim arrived, I said I'm giving him, like, at the end of the season, at least, like, I didn't say the season was a write-off, but I'm giving him some months to figure out what works with the team, because I didn't anticipate that he would figure out everything immediately. I didn't anticipate that, and I hope none of you guys anticipated that too. I just didn't think that these players would be so bad. I have to show you guys this from yesterday's game because it really stood out to me. This really stood out to me. It's like, no matter what, look at this. It doesn't matter what Manchester United have. You lot are probably thinking, yeah, what is this? This is Rangers, yeah, in build-up, first half. And Manchester United have how many? They got their back four, if you want to call it that. Your back four. Ahmad is out of the shot, but he's somewhere over here, so it's the back five. Look at Man United's quotation marks midfield. Look at Man United's midfield. This is Bruno. This is Eriksen here. This is Collier. It doesn't matter who Manchester United buy. If players are doing stuff like this, i.e. vacating the lanes, the passing lanes, if you want to call it that, that for me is so important. That is so important. And I noticed this yesterday. It kind of stood out to me. One pass, by the way, one pass from here to here takes all of Man United's midfield out of the game. It takes all of Man United's midfield in the game. And then, you know, it could be roles reversed. It could be like a lot of different stuff could happen. But look at even the gap between the centre-back and the wide centre-back and the central centre-back. Because Diogo Dalot is so here. He's so, what's the word? He's so inverted, if you want to say. Right? Your wing-back should be slightly more here. Your left side centre-back should be slightly more here. Your central centre-back should be in the centre. This guy here should be here. Now, I understand also yesterday Manchester United were playing some points in a 4, I think it was like a 4-3-3. Some points I saw them playing like a 4-4-2 in possession. So I understand it's game management. But players need to know how to read the game better. They need to know how to read the game better because there is no reason, in my opinion, yeah, and are you blaming the coaching? No, I'm not. I'm blaming the players. I'm saying that the players should know better than to... You got 4 players just here like this. Toby Collier, I thought in this position here, he was trying to drop into this space here to make sure that the wing back, the left wing back here doesn't go into that space. But I'm just looking at the midfielders and Ahmad, and I'm thinking, why are all of you guys so close to each other, number one, but also not closing off the passing lane? And for me, that is... You can't coach this. Well, you can coach it, but it's also up to the players' direction to make these decisions in the game. They need to read it better. Bruno here is occupied, by the way. I think in this position here, just based off his body language, it looks like he's trying to anticipate the pass here. But you need to close off the passing lanes here because that is the more dangerous position for me, anyways, in my opinion. That is the more dangerous position, sorry. But how did we get from talking about Antony to that? Let me see what you guys are saying. In thinking that in that situation, Amorim wants his centre-back to push up to the players in the free space. So what we kind of see a lot for Manchester United in terms of the centre-back positions is that the centre-backs get tight to their players. But the thing is, Lenny Yoro yesterday, in my opinion, he wasn't playing like as a right-sided centre-back. I felt like at times, especially in possession, he was playing as a right-back because Ahmad was so advanced. So as a result, United were playing like a back... I feel like Man United were playing a back 4. Now, in this particular position, Ruben Amorim, I've seen it multiple times. I break it down every time when I see it in a game. He wants his centre-backs to get tight. But Igerman, I think his name was, the striker yesterday, I don't think he was a kind of player that you could get tight to like De Ligt has been doing against... I think he did it against De Lap when Man United played Ipswich, or Leacher can't get tight to him because he's dropping a lot more deeper and they're creating an overload of players in the middle. So again, that's why I think it's about in-game management in terms of the players. I think we waste money on a lot of average players. We do. Big up to Uthman. Salam minna salam, bro. I hope you're doing well. I'm nervous. No official bid yet. Fan pressure hyping a comp for a trash performance, and these same fans kept Ten Hag. I need 17 gone like the wind. Let's actually talk about Alejandro Garnacho, because yesterday was a very interesting performance for me from Garnacho. I don't think I've seen that kind of Garnacho. For me, his final product is like for every 10 shots, he'll score 1, right? But yesterday, he looked a lot more of a threat coming in on his right foot than I've probably seen in a long time now. I don't know if he's playing with some fire in him. I don't know if he's playing with a point to prove. I felt like he was dying to score yesterday. Like, genuinely, I think I tweeted it saying Garnacho is dying to score. But also, I feel like I look at that and I think there's a level of selfishness to that. I think there's a level of selfish because you are trying to get the shots for yourself. And there was some situations where I also felt like there was the better option of passing. So again, in-game management, this is the thing. Players need to know how to manage the game better and manage their decision-making better. There was times where he's hitting the line and trying to drag it back across goal when he shouldn't, because he's being forced onto what I think is his weaker attributes. And then there's times where he's trying to kind onto his right foot and get a shot off when he shouldn't. So again, it's just about in-game decision making. But yesterday, I felt like his performance overall was a lot better than maybe what we've been used to over the last couple of weeks. Because let's be honest, guys, I cannot remember the last quality performance that Garnacho has put in for Manchester United. And then that leads me to the topic of the transfer stuff. Let me actually bring it up on here. Let me actually bring it up, actually, the text, because I think it's coming from... I don't know why everybody wants to... I think that the source was MUFC Academy. Yeah, who has actually not been wrong much. Still better than Maino. Okay, damn, Kai. Everybody's entitled to their own. But it's reported that... Let me try. I actually want to find and also it's not just one person reporting it, it's multiple people reporting it. Damn, I should have actually been a bit more prepared. So Chelsea are set to bid for Alejandro Garnacho today. That is the reports. Proposal is expected to be submitted with the United winger after initial positive talks between both clubs. Manchester United and Chelsea have a good working relationship due to previous deals. Now, there is a suggestion that there's a verbal agreement between Garnacho and Chelsea, and the next step is obviously negotiations between the club. The bid is expected to be in and around the region of £60.5 million, which is about 70 million euros, which is what the valuation was actually from Manchester United. Garnacho has always favoured a move to Chelsea over Napoli, and as Stu puts in the chat, Napoli ends the pursuit of Alejandro Garnacho because Napoli are on course to go and sign Adeyemi from Dortmund for about 50 million. The player is very keen on the move, but he's also open to staying at Manchester United. United have lined up 3 potential replacements to replace Garnacho, and 2 of them play in the Premier League for clubs currently in the bottom half of the table. I mean, that could be anyone. That could legit be anyone. Now, this is where my kind of questions come in terms of for Garnacho, right? Minna, do you think 60 million is a fair price for Garnacho? I think 60 million is reasonable. I think it's reasonable depending on what Man United do with that 60 million. If Man United go out, and I'm going to be so honest, if Man United go out and buy young products, young players, if you want to call it that, if Man United only sign Nene Dorgus from RB Salzburg and they sign another young player, I won't be happy about it. I would not be happy about it. The most important thing is, if you are going to let Alejandro Garnacho go, after you've let Antony go, number 1. Number 2, you've exiled Marcus Rashford from the team. Man United do not have a lot of options in the front line. Like and you guys are probably thinking, yeah, well, it don't matter because Garnacho, quotation mark, he hasn't been doing well. But that's aside from the point. If you are letting multiple attacking players leave and you are not upgrading on them, I don't want a direct replacement in terms of prospect for prospect. I want a direct upgrade. Direct upgrade. I want an experienced, seasoned player, senior player. That's what I want to come in as a replacement for Garnacho. And when I say senior player, I don't mean a 30-year-old. They could be 25, 26, but they need to have a good number, in my opinion, good number of years of top flight football, whatever league they're from, number 1. Number 2, I wish Manchester United did not sell him to Chelsea, because I hold Man United players to the same standard regardless of who they are. I don't want to see any Man United player go to a direct rival in the Premier League. Whether you guys think Chelsea are Man United's rivals or not is aside from the point. For me, anyways, it's aside from the point. Chelsea are a big 6 club. They are a big 6 club. I didn't want Sancho to go there. I don't like the idea of Marcus Rashford going to Arsenal, and I don't like that idea of Garnacho going to Chelsea. It is very like, I see both sides of the argument. I've seen a lot of people that don't want Garnacho to leave, and rightfully so. But I also seen a lot of people that want him to go. And I look at Chelsea's wingers and I'm thinking, bro, how much money have you guys spent on wingers and you want another one from Manchester United? You've brought Mykhailo Mudryk. How much did they spend on Mykhailo Mudryk? Yeah, and now he's out because he's being done for doping, basically. They bought Pedro Neto out of nowhere last summer. They took Jadon Sancho from Man United, who they're going to have to keep because it's an obligation to buy if they finish above 13th place. They've got, who else? They got João Felix, if you want to say that. They've got Noni Madueke. They've got so many wingers. And yet you want to buy another one. And this is why I'm always like, what is Chelsea's recruitment strategy? But hey, I shouldn't complain. If they're going to give United 60 million plus, I shouldn't really complain. But for me, the most important thing is equally saying that is that United don't take a player off their hands. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but we were talking about it at the beginning of the stream. Manchester United reportedly have asked to keep an eye on Christopher Nkunku's situation at Chelsea. Man United don't need to do anyone a favor. They don't need to do anybody a favor, and definitely, in my opinion, not Chelsea. Not Chelsea. Garnacho going will clear our PSR to allow us to spend 180 million at least. Yes and no. Yes and no. That is true to an extent, depending on what Manchester United, how much they buy players for. Now, the good thing is that 60 million, obviously, they can report it fully in the financial year that they accumulate that transfer fee, and then they can use that 60 million to say they amortize a transfer fee 15 million per year. I have to do the maths, guys. I have to do them. You're not making me do maths live on stream. But hypothetically speaking, if they sign three players for about 70 million each, if they amortize that cost about 15 million per year per player, then that would still be all right. But it wouldn't necessarily, it's not necessary. It's not always black and white, guys, with PSR, unfortunately. And with Manchester United, can I just say, and it's not just Manchester United, but this is applicable to everyone. If Man United get into Europa next year, they also have to be in line with FFP regulations, which is a UEFA standard, whereas PSR is a Premier League standard. Now, I've seen so many people saying, how are Man City able to do it? How are Chelsea able to do it? How are this team able to do it? Manchester United's situation is different because Man United are the only club, I think, in Premier League right now whose owners have not invested a penny of their own money. Maybe from last season, actually, because Jim Ratcliffe put in $300 million, right, this year. But from last season, Manchester United are the only owners that have not invested a penny of their own money, which means Manchester United has been run as a business in terms of the fact that all the money that they generate, and Man United generate a lot of money commercially for revenue, match day, etc. They generate a lot of revenue. I think they tend to be in the top 5 in Europe every year in the Deloitte papers. So Manchester United have been essentially running themselves. They've been running themselves financially because the Glazers have not put in any money. You look at rival clubs, the owners tend to put in money, whether it's 5 million, 10 million, or 100 million, they put in money. So Manchester United's financial situation, it's not black and white. You can't say, how can Newcastle spend this, or how can this club spend this? You have to look at Man United's situation, in my opinion, as its own kind of situation. I don't think it's really comparable, unfortunately, to other clubs. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button if you've just come through. We're less than 9 likes away from 100 likes. Make sure you lot check out as well the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and of course you get to support the growth of the channel. So make sure you lot check out the membership club, the Minions Gang, if you want to call it that. If you want to send in super chats, you can. By some, showing some love to the channel, sending in some questions, your thoughts, etc., etc. And of course, it helps me reach the super chat goal for the stream today. And like I said, it helps with the channel, helps to grow the channel, grow the community as well. The Glazers don't do that with the Tampa Bay Bucks. They don't do that. And it was reported yesterday that the Glazers actually do not want Manchester United to go on tour and visit the Bucks' stadiums or training facilities, etc., because they don't want them to be jealous. And I'm pretty sure they gave Tom Brady like a crazy contract when he joined Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Am I wrong, NFL fans? Let me know in the chat. The year that they, I think, won the Super Bowl. I think they won the Super Bowl that year. But the Glazers are a big part of the problem. They are a big part of the problem. Minna, do you want to run a class of 92 and finish bottom half but feel like your soul is intact while your rivals go clear? Or do we seek out the elite and show ambition? All we need is good recruitment. This is my question, yeah? This is my question to you guys and everyone in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Are you happy with this idea of recruitment, of going over, like, targeting young players? Because Man United have been linked to an 18-year-old from Arsenal. They've been linked to Nene Dorgu from RB Salzburg, who's like 20 or 21. They've been linked to Tyler Dibling, who we're going to get to. They've brought in heaps of young players, young Paraguayan left back. They've brought in Sekou Kone. They've brought in Samuel Lasau. They've brought in Chido Obi Martin. United have brought in a lot more young players in this season than they have experienced players. Like, let's be honest. That's more academy, like it's more young products. I'm not fond of this strategy. I'm not fond. I understand you have to find a balance of kind of young talent and potentially, because also they were doing this before Ineos came in, right? There was a summer United signed Ahmad, they signed Garnacho, they signed Hannibal, they signed, Alvaro Fernandez, they brought in Toby Collier, etc., etc. So I totally understand that. I totally understand that. But I think Man United need to find a balance of having those potential prospects, but also bringing in ready-made players. And right now, to salvage, I don't even think the season there's much to salvage. I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't think there's much of the season per se to salvage. I think maybe only Europa League, maybe FA Cup as well. If it's only cups, basically. Premier League, there's nothing to salvage. But I'm really shocked that it's day 24 of the month and Manchester United have yet to bring in at least one player at the least. Chelsea is doing the same. Young recruitment is the same business model. Buy young, sell them high on a profit. They are not here to win. It's more about making money from player sales. Brighton model. No disrespect, guys, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but Man United are not Brighton. They don't. Why does Man United need to buy young and flip it and sell them for more money? Why should that be the recruitment model per se? As if Man United weren't producing young talents from their academy. That's what they're known for. I can't fathom the idea of, for example, I can't fathom the idea of Alejandro Garnacho leaving and then Man United spend that 60 million and bring in another young player like Tyler Dibling. And I like Tyler Dibling, by the way. I like Tyler Dibling. I think he's a good player. But I don't think that's the hill that United should be willing. You are not Brighton, but you are now. Damn. Reality check, man. Reality check. I like Tyler Dibling. By the way, just some news on Tyler Dibling. Manchester United reportedly are interested in bringing him in as a replacement for Alejandro Garnacho if he leaves. Southampton value him at £55 million. Listen, I don't know what they're smoking over there in Southampton, but you're not getting 50. Firstly, you guys are getting relegated. Yeah, so no one's giving you 55 million. I mean, I know that the clubs lose a lot of money when they get relegated from the Premier League. So maybe that's what they're hoping to recoup, the money that they're about to lose from, broadcasting and commercial, etc., from not being in the Premier League. But you're not getting 55. There is no way in hell anyone's going to play 55 million. And by the way, Man United are not the only team interested in Tyler Dibling. RB Leipzig is also interested in him, and they actually want him this January transfer window. I only want Dibling after they get relegated, half price. Facts, 100%. But I don't see why. Again, this is a question to you guys. Is that a smart swap? Sell Garnacho for 60, bring in Tyler Dibling for 55? Is that a smart move? Firstly, I like Tyler Dibling, but Man United need a left 10. From my understanding and from what I've watched, he's a right-hand-sided player. If he's playing in the right 10 or right wing back, I don't know what. Right now, it's just speculation, right? It's just speculation. Chiku says yes. Naipan, Alvaro buyback, and Shirky 50 to 55 for 3 players in your full of SHIT, says Danny. Ridwan says, not smart. I like the player, but not for that price. He's proven nothing yet. I agree. And like I said, another player that Manchester United have been linked to is Nene Dorgu from RB Salzburg. I don't know if you guys watched him against Real Madrid in the midweek Champions League games. But that's another young player that they're after. Let's speak about the real business. The real business. All we're linked to is young players, guys. Oh, I feel like, are we shopping in primary school? Because I feel like all we're linked to is young players. I just want to wake up one day, yeah, and see Manchester United have bidded for Matheus Cunha. That's what I just want to see. That is my dream. That is my dream this January transfer window. But let's actually talk about Patrick Dorgu. So just before I went live, it was confirmed that Manchester United have put in a second bid for Patrick Dorgu to join Manchester United. This time, the bid sits at £25 million, which is about 30 million euros. Lecce value him at 40 million euros. which is about 34 million pounds, I think. Yeah, the pound is shit right now, guys. The pound has actually been crap since Brexit. I remember there was a time that I could get £100. I could get £100. $100 could get me, no, $200 could get me £100. There was a time where $200 could get me £100. So if my parents were sending me money and I was abroad, I'd be balling. I would be balling. Now you're lucky if you can even get flipping £80 for that. The pound is so bad. But anyways, let's not go on a tangent about that. £25 million should be enough. In my opinion, it should be enough to get the deal done. Man United, if they end up like they did in the summer. Now, if you lot remember that 5-week saga, if you want to call it, of Manuel Ugarte negotiations, where United ended up paying the exact price that PSG wanted. If Man United end up in that kind of situation, I guarantee you it's going to be mainly about. Am I out of focus? Looks like I'm out of focus right now. All right, that's better. Yeah, I had to zoom in a little bit. But yeah, back to the topic. Manchester United, in my opinion, is going to end up probably negotiating how to pay. That's going to be where the conversation. They are going to try and spread the costs like they did with Xerxes, like they've done as well with Manuel Ugarte. Now, I saw this that was quite interesting. Because let's be honest, guys. Let's all be honest. Yeah, there's a bit of honesty in the room. Let's have some honesty in the place. How many of you guys watch Lecce? How many of you guys watch? I watch the Italian league. I do not watch them. I'm going to be 100%. I watch the Italian league. I watch Napoli. I watch Juve. I watch AC Milan. I watch Inter Milan. I don't watch Lecce. Now, like you guys, I've had to do a bit of research on him to familiarize myself with the kind of player. And I came across this in terms of rankings as for defenders in the Italian league. Tackles 1, he's ranked 10th, which is not bad. That's not bad. Interceptions, he's ranked 35th against defenders. Opposition box touches, he's ranked 1st. So he is one of the most probably advanced defenders, I would have to say, in terms of the number of touches he's had in the league in the opponent's box. Chances created 18th, which I don't think is that bad for a fullback. And shots taken 2nd. I mean, that means he's a fullback that's not scared, or wingback, sorry, that's not scared of shooting. To be 2nd ranked in the league in terms of defenders. And why are Manchester United kind of looking at him? What kind of assets does he have? What is his strengths? Well, he's technically advanced. He has technical ability. He's good on the game. He reads the game very well. He has great vision. And he's good on the ball, which means he can dribble. That's the most important thing. He can dribble with the ball. I think with Amorim's system, or the way that United play under Amorim, I think the most important thing is having ball progressing fullbacks or wingbacks. That is why Man United tend to look good when Ahmad is playing at right wing back, because you've got a right wing back that can progress the ball. Now, I'm not saying he's the best. I'm not saying, by the way, Dorgu is the best at what Manchester United have in terms of left wing back options. But in this current time, January transfer window, Kirkes, Nori, Robinson, they are all going to be players of a premium price. I'm talking like 60 million. Like, genuinely speaking, you lot might think I'm crazy. But they are going to be 60 million price tag players in the January transfer window if United were to go for them. My left wing back that I always wanted at Manchester United, it was a flip between Robinson and Kirkes. I liked Alphonso Davies, but I'm realistic enough to believe that he's probably not going to come to United. So now they've gone down a different route. How much is he? Do not overpay. Well, this is the thing. Like I said, Man United have put in a bid for £25 million. They've been in Italy. I think they were in Milan for negotiations for the club. 25 million is the bid that Manchester United have put in pounds, which is about 30 million euros. And the club, his club, value him at 40 million euros, which is about 34. So United are about £9 million off of what potentially they want. And like I said, anytime you're buying a player in the January transfer window, I mean, Man City just paid 75 million for Omar Marmoush. You're going to pay a premium price to take a player from another team. And in my opinion, it's not like Lecce they're not competing for a title. They're not competing for top football, European football, etc., etc. But it don't matter who it is. You could go to a team who's bottom of the table, and if you try to take an important player, they're going to put a premium price tag on that player. And Manchester United, in my opinion, have to decide. Kweke says it here. I feel like we're overpaying slightly. I think 45 million euros is a lot. I'm not going to lie. I feel like 45 million euros is a lot. And that's why I hope Man United don't get fleeced. That's it. I just hope Man United don't get fleeced. Big up to Hussam, says, proud of the work you do. Good luck, Mina Habibi. Big up, bro. I hope you're doing well, man. And congratulations. Congratulations, my brother. I hope Liverpool don't win the league or the Champions League. But much love, my brother. Thank you for the super chat. Allahumma barik. Why no cost cutting in private jet for unnecessary travel to Milan for 30 million signing? Can be done over the phone like any other signing. Listen, I'm no specialist when it comes to negotiations, but I'm sure negotiations work better face to face. Let's be honest. Because are we in COVID for you to be having negotiations on Microsoft Teams or on Zoom? I don't think it's a problem for them to go out to Italy. I'm not gonna watch how they travel. I'm not Greta Thunberg, bro. If you take a private jet or you decide to take a train and walk the rest of your destination, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. I'm not Greta Thunberg. I'm not gonna watch you. Being environmentally mindful. I understand. I totally understand that. But equally, I'm not a specialist in negotiations, but I'm sure negotiating works better when you're face to face. I'm pretty sure that is always the case. Whether that's football, whatever sport it is, I'm sure it always works better like that. But in terms of Patrick Dorgu, he's been kind of compared. This is an interesting thing, guys. He's kind of been compared to a Gareth Bale-esque in terms of his ability to play as a wing-back, but also play as a winger. That is a very interesting, in my opinion, that's a very interesting comparison. Now, don't get me wrong. There is 100% probably, he's only, 20? He's only 20. He's quite young, 2021. He has a lot to learn. He has a lot to learn. He can get up and down the flanks, which is what Man United need in Amorim's team right now. And he's able to defend as well. But apparently, this is just, again, what I've read. Apparently, he's got a temperament. Like I said in the chat, the game I watched of Lecce, he played right wing and scored. I saw that he can also play right wing, which is interesting. You play left wing back on one side and right wing on another side. That is really, really interesting. We're going to keep an eye on him. But in terms of like the most recent news regarding him is that Manchester United are putting in, and this is coming from Laurie Whitwell, by the way, at The Athletic, that Manchester United have made a 25 million bid for Patrick Dorgu. Apparently a Fabrizio tweet is going to come soon. Might have to keep an eye on that. We might have to keep an eye on that. No way Dibling. Apparently Manchester United are interested in replacing Dibling for Garnacho. Apparently so. But again, guys, this is I feel like with transfer windows, when it comes to Manchester United, I just feel like everybody just puts out stuff about Manchester United because people are gonna talk about it. We're gonna sit here and talk about it, and all of that stuff. Garnacho's barber is doing a madness, guys. Garnacho's barber just liked this post. Again, I don't care what people. I always say I don't care what people do on TikTok, but or on social media. But he posted a video of Garnacho's haircut, and somebody commented on it saying "ready to Chelsea," and he liked it. And now everybody's going crazy about it, about whether or not he's going to Chelsea or not. On the topic of Chelsea, a player that Manchester United are keeping an eye on, as well as Nkunku. Why do we keep doing this? Why? I don't understand. Another player that Manchester United are reportedly keeping an eye on is João Felix. Now, I'm not going to lie. This souls keep an eye on FC. We have become keep an eye on FC. That's what we be doing in the transfer window. You know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It is underwhelming that United are not signing anyone. But I like the fact that outside of City, no one else is really signing anyone. Like in terms of Premier League rivals. Well, who's our rivals when we're sitting in 13th place? But anyways, in terms of Big Six and just other teams, no one's really signing anyone. Minute off topic, but how you feeling about JJ Redick? I really like JJ Redick, you know. I actually like JJ Redick. I do sometimes though. Sometimes I'm a bit about him. I just don't see the Lakers going all the whole way this season. I might have to take that back, but I don't see them going the full way. But I see them getting into the playoffs and maybe making, I don't know, man, conference semis, conference finals, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, and that's probably how I'm feeling right now. I'm really getting back into the NFL, guys, as well. I'm really getting back into the NFL. Maybe this is what happens when your football team's crap. Felix just needs some TLC. He's a good player. I don't think, guys. How long has Felix sucked for? Because I feel like it's been a while since I've watched a good João Felix. I feel like it's been a while. Even when he was at Atletico, I just feel like it's been a hot minute. But also, can we just say, he's not even that old. We have to keep that in mind, is that he's not even that old of a player. So he could maybe still get back on track. But I just feel like, similar how I feel about Christopher Nkunku, I just feel like neither of them, I don't remember watching a good version of them for the last, like, I would say 2 or so 3 years, like, at the least. I like this channel because of a lack of swearing. Yeah, I don't really swear. I don't really swear. Bro, he's 25 now and still hasn't found a club. Account says he'll cook in our left 10. Everybody is just saying this person will cook in our left 10. This player will cook in our left 10. Would you be generally happy? Yeah, generally speaking, guys, would you be happy if Man United went and brought João Felix? Or would you be happy if Manchester United went and brought Christopher Nkunku? I know you guys wouldn't. I know for a fact you guys would not be happy about that. You guys would be like, no, how dare you? How dare you, Ineos? I know, I already can predict the fan base would have firstly, yeah. I say this all the time, yeah. João Felix aside, Christopher Nkunku aside, if Man United are going to Chelsea to sign a player, if it's not Cole Palmer, there's no one else I want. If it's not Cole Palmer, there's no one else I want. And I know it's unrealistic in this window, or just generally, like, I think if United were to go for Cole Palmer, it will not be an easy deal. But that's the only player I want from Chelsea. I'm sick and tired of us signing players that suck in the hope that they become what they once were. I'm not on that. I'm not on that. Big up to Adam with the super chat. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it so much. Says, shout out to my sister Minna. Enjoy your Friday. Likewise, bro. Likewise. I actually, for the first time, guys, I'm doing nothing after my stream today. I'm just going to chill. Because usually I'm just always watching football, but there is barely any football tomorrow. There's a lot of football on tomorrow, but there's barely any today. So I'm just going to chill. I don't know if you're in the UK and you're watching the Traitors, let me know if you're watching the finale today, because I'm looking forward to that. But shukran, Adam. I hope you have a great Friday as well. Dibling is a top player. I never said that Dibling's not a top player. We should just leave each other alone. I agree. I totally agree. Everyone's talking about Cunha in the chat, right? Everyone's talking about the idea of Cunha in the chat. And I love the idea of Cunha. But how realistic is it? By the way, one thing that I hate about Cunha, guys, is he needs to stop flirting with United. Like, he needs to stop hinting at stuff about Manchester United, or how much he loves or how much he likes Manchester United, or he's a fan of Manchester United, etc., etc. I would like Cunha, but I also think we shouldn't put our eggs in one basket in terms of a player like him. Nottingham Forest are set to bid a club record for him. Yeah, I'm talking, I think that might be like, what, 50, 60 million? Wolves, if they do get relegated, or if they are in this relegation scrap, they need him. So they're not going to, again, sell him for anything that's not a premium price. They're not going to do that. I don't know. You know what it is? People don't understand. It's not just technical ability, but you need to have an animal mentality. And many of these players like that, you got to have some animals in your team. I agree. United need a bit of oomph in their team. They need a bit of oomph in their team. Cunha and Gibbs-White are my dream signings. I saw a report that said that United hadn't signed from the Premier League for the last 5 windows, and I was like, maybe United should start looking at the Premier League more. But then on the flip side, clubs don't make it easy for Manchester United because historically United were overpaying for players, so they're not willing to. I think now Man United, unless the price is right, they're not going to want to do business with Premier League teams because they don't want to get fleeced. I don't think so. It's not realistic. He's going to cost 80 million in the January window, according to Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs, it's not really that reliable, guy. Don't tell anyone I said that. What's your thoughts on Brahim Diaz? I like him. I like Brahim Diaz. You know, I watch Real Madrid a lot. And I think, what's the young Turkish kid? I forgot what his name is. I like the young Turkish kid as well, but I do think Brahim Diaz is a step ahead in development than him. But again, I don't know if I'm traumatized from United buying Gula. There you go. I'm traumatized from United buying Casemiro from Real Madrid. I don't really think I want United to sign anyone from there. Cunha started as our main target at the start of last summer. Ineos cheaped out and Ashworth came in and got Xerxes. You know what the funny thing is, yeah? The funny thing about the Xerxes thing is that reportedly he was on Dan Ashworth's list at Newcastle. So it just seems like Newcastle, when Ashworth was leaving Newcastle, he went into his file drawer and he took the paper of transfer ideas and he just left with that and came to Man United with it and said, guys, I got some players that you guys can sign. Because there's no way you look at Man United this summer and he was on Newcastle's list whilst Dan Ashworth was there, who, by the way, Newcastle play a completely different type of football to Man United, and you think that he was a good fit. I like Xerxes, by the way. I really want him to do well, but just the logic behind it doesn't really make sense to me. It doesn't really make sense to me. We made a mistake not signing from the Premier League. There was a time we could cherry pick the best talent from the PL every single season. Man United now, I feel like also when I see people talking about who Man United should go for, etc., I see a lot more Premier League players there than maybe historically. I feel like historically United were obsessed with signing players from outside of England, so playing in other leagues. You look at this January transfer window, we signed 2 players from the German league, 1 from the Italian league, and 2 from the French league. That's look at that. The year before that, again, the same thing. We're signing from the Dutch league, the Italian league, etc. Free in the back system, squad building is very dangerous. If it doesn't work out, a lot of players need to be sold. That is another worry. That is another question that I also think about sometimes as well. What's the likelihood of, and this is just hypothetical, guys, but if Ruben Amorim was to walk, yeah, or if Ruben Amorim was to get sacked, yeah, what is the likelihood United's bringing a manager that plays free in the back? There's not many managers out there that play free in the back. And there's not many managers that are available that would probably be able to come to Manchester United. And then you just have a whole nother. And then I have to watch everybody talk about Ralph Rangnick's open heart surgery. Say Man United do have another open heart surgery, yeah, under Ruben Amorim. And then Ruben Amorim leaves us after 2.5 seasons. And then we have to have open heart surgery again. And I have to keep seeing that same quote being recycled nonstop. I don't think I can handle it, guys. I genuinely don't think I can handle it. But I think that is all. Oh no, last but not least, everybody's favorite topic. Have we hit 100 likes, guys? Yes, we have. We hit it. Let's try get 150 likes before the end of the stream. I think that's doable. I think 150 likes are doable. Just non-related to Manchester United, but apparently Atletico Madrid are interested in signing Zinchenko from Arsenal. Current price is 20 million. If they can get 20 million for Zinchenko, interesting. Very, very interesting. But like I said, everybody's favorite topic. Everyone's favorite topic. Marcus Rashford. By the way, I genuinely think he might stay at Manchester United. There is a part of me that generally thinks that he might stay at Manchester United. And reportedly, his agent is in talks with Barcelona, trying to get him a move to Barcelona. But the biggest problem, the biggest hurdle for him is salary. It's a hurdle at Dortmund. It was a hurdle at AC Milan. It's now a hurdle for Barcelona. Barcelona, who, by the way, somebody please explain. I wish there's Barcelona fans in the chat right now. Someone please explain to me how Araujo just went from being on the transfer list to getting a new contract. Barcelona is a team that just never make sense to me. I swear, Araujo was linked to leaving. He was linked to Juve. It was reported that there was no option for him in the club, and now he's just getting himself a new deal. Oh, Martinez got injured. Makes sense. That makes sense. But giving him a new deal is crazy. I can't believe Milan signed a 34-year-old Walker over Rashi. They had to because Emerson Royale was out for 8 weeks, 9 weeks. So they had to. And also, can I just say, whatever team Marcus Rashford goes to, if he goes to Barcelona or he goes to AC Milan, I don't think he's starting there. Unless he's starting through the middle for AC Milan. I mean, I thought you were drinking out of a kettle for a second. Minna, why is your cup so big? This is a Stanley Cup. You lot don't know. This cup is literally bigger than my head, guys. It's huge. But it gets me through the day. I literally put water in it the entire day. I maybe top it up once during the day. But these are, guys, honestly, yeah, if you don't want to drink a lot of water during the day and you spend a lot of time at home, get one of these. It's huge. Look, guys, it's bigger than my head. I thought you were drinking out of the kettle. That is so jokes. Ibra probably told Rashi now or never while Rashford was twerking for Barcelona. I think it's just about priorities. I think AC Milan's priorities were with signing a right back. Emerson Royale out injured. They don't really need a frontline player per se. Rafael Leao came back from injury. But what is a kind of worry for me, guys, and I want to hear your thoughts. Like I said, I just melt and drink the snow from outside. What? You melt snow and just drink it from out? That's disgusting, firstly. That is absolutely horrendous. Damn. But anyway, back on Rashford. I want to hear you guys' thoughts because it's going to go two ways. Marcus Rashford's going to stay and he's going to be benched for the entirety of the season. Not even benched. He's going to be out of the matchday squad for the entirety of the season because Ruben Amorim don't want him. Or he's going to stay and then he's going to get reintegrated back into the team. Now, what do you guys prefer to happen? Because I have already said this. This will be a test for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United in terms of how they deal with this. It will be a test based on how they deal with it. You don't see him leaving before the window. I actually don't. I genuinely don't see him leaving. And the reason why I don't see him leaving is because if he was going to leave, guys, he would have left by now. And that might sound stupid, but if he was going to leave, if the interest was legit by all these clubs, we know what the issue is with all these clubs, yeah? AC Milan, they're not signing him because they're signing Kyle Walker. Dortmund, they can't afford to pay him 10 million in wages. They can't do that. Manchester United are looking for someone to, by the way, take on a hefty part of it. Barcelona, financially, they can't afford to sign him. They can't because of his wages. Unless Man United are willing to cover most of it. Outside of that, Monaco, Fabrizio Romano already downplayed the interest from Monaco and said that it's not real interest. And it was only Juve, Dortmund, AC Milan, Barcelona. Juve went and signed Kolo Muani. So where does that leave him? That leaves him rotting on Manchester United's bench. And then that's where the decision has to be made of whether you're going to keep having him out of the team or you're going to reintegrate him in. And I think it also goes hand in hand with whatever happens with Alejandro Garnacho. If Garnacho leaves Manchester United and Man United don't bring in anyone and they've let Antony go and they leave Marcus Rashford out of the matchday squad, you're telling me the only frontline players that you have that can play in the two positions behind the striker is Ahmad and Bruno. No one else. There's no one else. And that's poor squad management from the owners or recruitment. Last minute Arsenal swoop in for a loan like Sterling. I must be amongst the minority that don't want him to go to Arsenal. I actually think I'm part of the minority of him. Rashi shot himself in the foot because now keeping him is going to be a toxic dressing room. 100%. Not only that, it's like, what do you do if you've kept him now? What do you do now? Do you continue to leave him out of the matchday squad? And as a result, because of that, his price is going to depreciate consistently. And then in the summer, with the 40, 50 million that you wanted for him, you're lucky you get 30. Or do you bring him back in? But then you've just for the last month and a half stood on business and you've kind of been adamant that, and by the way, guys, yeah, I actually think there's a lot more to what we don't know. I feel like there's a lot, and I actually want it to be like that. Let it stay like, because as fans, we are too privy to knowing way too much about the club and what's happening behind closed doors. Right now, I'm happy that what's being perceived to us is all we know. Amorim is leaving Rashford out. Rashford did an interview with the media, said he wants a new challenge, and since then, he's not had a sniff of the team. I think he was on the bench for the Newcastle game. I think that's it. I actually think that there's more going on, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Keep training. Keep coming to match day squad, to the match day, sorry. Like, the fact that he's turning up at Old Trafford, guys, is killing me. He's turning up at Old Trafford in the full kit that the rest of the team are turning up in, but then he's going to sit in the box at the top to watch the game. When you have a team that are dying for goals. And I'm not saying he's a prolific goal scorer. I'm not saying that he's the difference maker. But all I'm saying is Garnacho leaves and United don't replace him and they have Rashford rotting on the bench. That's scary. That is a scary situation to be in. But I also think Ruben Amorim has to stay firm in his decision, basically. If it gets to a point where you are dying for reinforcements in the front line, Chido Martin, bring him through. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. If clubs take Rashford on loan in the summer and he tears it up, they will need to pay more for him. So they're just waiting for the summer to get Rashford for cheap rather than loan. Now that is value. That is valid. That is actually valid. You laid your bed, bruh. Coach really said tighten up. His response and interview, bro. You're not Ronaldo. Uthman says Rashford's going to be fine, Minna. He'll sit on the bench, train well, and remain professional about it. I feel him and Amorim fell out, but it's cordial. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I think that the nail in the coffin for him was the interview that he did. Like, especially off the back of a game that he missed, that he was left out. And then obviously he reported he was sick and so he missed training. I think when you factor all of that and then you do an interview, it looks bad. It really looks bad on you. Rather play one of the youths than bring back Rashford. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Chido Obi Martin. We might see him a bit more earlier than what we anticipated. The Rashford interview sealed his fate. If he didn't do the interview, he may have left the door open for himself. But for me, I'm done with him now. I think a lot of people are on that wave. I feel like a lot of people are on that wave, and rightfully so. By the way, I think it's a very valid kind of thought process to have. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just sad. I don't know. I'll always be under the impression that this is just sad to watch. But listen, guys, did we hit 150? We did. We hit 150. We even passed it. Big up to everyone locked in. Listen, I didn't do a match reaction yesterday because I was exhausted. I've had the longest week in terms of meetings and contents and shoots, etc. I've just had the longest week. So straight after the game, I went to bed. But tomorrow, we will have Daily Dose of Minna, maybe even early tomorrow because there's no 12:30 kickoff. It's all 3 p.m. and 5:30 kickoffs. We'll have a match reaction up after the Man City Chelsea game and maybe Arsenal Wolves game and maybe even Forest and Bournemouth game, depending on the result. Of course, we'll have a match reaction as well after the Manchester United game on Sunday. Of course, we'll have a Daily Dose of Minna earlier in the day as well. We'll not have a watch along for Manchester United women on Saturday because they're playing at the same time as the men's team. So there'll be no watch along, but maybe I'll do a match reaction for that as well. And of course, we might have some more match reactions as well. I think Napoli versus Juve is tomorrow as well. So we might have a match reaction for that. But listen, big up to everyone. Big up to Nuruddin for the raid. Big up to everyone who stuck around throughout the entire stream. Big up to all the new subscribers. Those of you who sent in super chats. Those of you who joined the membership club. Those of you who hit the like button. And also those of you who got involved in the chat throughout the entire stream. Is there anything left for the day? I don't think so. If we get a here we go for Garnacho though, I'll be live. I will definitely be live if we get a here we go. FC 25 streams will be back next week, inshallah, guys. God willing, there will be FC. We're back. We're back. I know I say it all the time, but we're back. We're back. But listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. If you want to follow me on all socials, you can right here, everywhere. It's the same app on every single platform. Big up to everyone that's locked in. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. It's going to be a boring Friday, I'm not going to lie, because there's not really much football on. But hopefully you lot can go spend time with your families, man. Go spend time. Stop watching football content and go spend time with your families. I'm joking, man. Big up to everyone. I hope to catch you lot all on tomorrow's stream. We're out, guys. Peace.